Hey, so right now, I'm kind of feeling under the weather today. Basically, I've got a bunch of mosquito bites all over my legs, and they swelled up to like the size of a golf ball today. So it's pretty gnarly. I've just been taking Benadryl and sleeping. So this will be for about an hour, and then we'll go ahead and cut off. Do it again tomorrow, maybe the next day. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of put that out there first so you know where we're at. All right, I'm up and going. Okay. Hello. Yes. If you have a question, go ahead and maybe we'll do it this way. Okay, so this is how we kind of do things. We've kind of got this routine going now. If you have a question, you want to ask it, usually people will ask them, and then I'll go and search for them. But it eventually gets to a point where I can't like stop and go and search for them, and then also be getting your messages while I'm doing your reading. So, I mean, why don't you just go ahead and post your name, and then Jenna will be there, and she'll be moderating. She'll make sure, when it's your turn, she'll tell you. So make sure you're looking at the chat box. And when she says it's your turn, based on the order you put your name in the chat box, then at that time you write your question. So she'll say your name, you write your question. So right now, just put your name in the chat box, and then Jenna will kind of keep it going and organized. So make sure you stick around for your name to come through. So who's first? Let's start with people who put their name first. I think that sounds like a pretty more organized way to do it. Okay, so Phantom Punk. May I have a general reading, Gemini? Okay. Okay, it looks like you might be moving away for money. You're definitely taking an action to move away from something from your past. Like you're kind of moving towards something else. Not necessarily like a person. I'm thinking it's more of a job related thing. And it's not necessarily even that you'll be traveling. It's just you'll be kind of walking away from something that you've been involved with for a while. And it's kind of a sad thing. Like it's not really exciting. You're happy to be doing it. No, it's more of like, you have to be doing that. So it could kind of be sad if you've been involved with this thing for a long time, but it looks like it's in regards to money, and you're definitely making that decision. Like you are definitely taking action that will move you away from something from your past or something you're currently involved with now, maybe, and it'll be pushing you toward something new. So it looks like it's kind of sad to be leaving that thing behind, but you have to do what you have to do. I'm thinking you know what you have to do to get money or to find more stability all the way around, because we have the 10 of Pentacles here. This is stability all the way around, 10 of Pentacles. So it's just all the way around. You've got stability, security, money, possessions. Your family is well fed. Everything's good. But you're going to have to be leaving something behind. And it's not really a happy thing. The highlight of this card are these two down here. They're leaving something behind. This person is kind of leading them away from it. And they're kind of sad, but they know that they have to do it. They're not looking back. And the King of Wands here represents basically you taking that action, because fire is about, they don't sit around and think about it, they just do it. So I know, well, in regards to the cards, I know that you'll be taking a decision, taking an action in regards to this. So we all do have free will, and you have a choice of whether or not you want to, but it looks like that's where you're headed, and that's what you're going to be planning on doing. Like I said, you're not going to be thinking about it very much, so there probably won't be much planning, but either that or you've just done this now, but it seems like you're about to do it. So I think it'll probably be a better decision because you kind of just already know that you have to in regards to money situations to improve them. Okay. So let's see. Who is after Phantom Punk? An old mindset. Okay, yeah. Okay. And that should help you make more money. Like I gotta switch up. Yeah, I feel that. I have to switch up all the time. We all do. Okay, Gemini girl, wherever you are. The chat box gets crazy after a while. It's funny. Okay. All right. Yeah, so basically, you guys, if you did write your name in the chat box, then Jenna will keep you organized until when it's your turn. So make sure you're looking at the chat box to the right. Well, it's to the right for me, but just make sure you're keeping up with it because when she calls your name and says, okay, it's your turn, go ahead and post your question at that time so that I can see it and know exactly where it is. I don't have to like scroll up and try to find it. So that's the way we're going to be doing this tonight, okay? So Tanya, I'm on her. Thanks, Jenna, for posting your question again. And whoever she says is after this question, just go ahead and post your question at that time. So who is coming to me that I'll have a committed relationship with? Okay. Well, this would be assuming that they're coming toward you. You might initiate it to them. So let's say, what's my next significant relationship going to look like? Because at the same time, we can't even say that what's my next committed relationship because this person could be non-committal. But nevertheless, you could be pursuing them either way. So let's say your next significant relationship or attraction. What are they like? Hopefully we can find out what sign they are. And we'll try to do a little bit of a time frame if we can. I don't know if you asked this before, but I've been getting this a lot recently for that question. The High Priestess. So it's kind of like saying you already kind of know or have an idea of who this person would be. It could be a Capricorn or a very, very toxic person for you. But I feel like if it is a toxic person for you, before, even if you don't know who it is right now, when you go to date this person, like when you start talking to them, you'll already know this is no good for me. Like I already know this is no good. You know, and you know, sometimes the devil can mean great sex. Also, but the thing is, like, I feel like even if you know it's bad, you're still going to do it because the chains right here, see the chains? It's like addictions, you know, codependency, they're chained to the devil. So it's like something that they have a hard time just brushing off, you know? It's not easy to just brush it off. So you might still go for it anyway, you know? Could be an air sign, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. Or it can mean you have great communication with this person. Dare I say that they're a good communicator? Does that mean that they're a manipulator, or does that mean they know how to be smooth? I don't know, but it seems like you know, even though there's this whole aspect of like toxicity or something that's bad for you and dangerous in a way, something that you feel addicted to or something that you feel stuck to, like you just can't brush it off and get over it. You can't just brush it off and like not want to do it. So at the same time, there being good communication, it's kind of interesting. That's why I feel like it could be kind of, you know, smooth talker, but either way, communication should be great. Which is kind of odd, you know, for a toxic connection, for communication to be great. Like, this could mean the third party. It could mean that you guys exchange ideas with each other, with one another, very easily. It could mean that, I feel like there's more than one person involved, though, you know, because it's saying exchanging of ideas, yes, but to me, I just keep hearing like third person in there. Like there's another, it's not just two people we're talking about here. Okay, this is Sag, Temperance. It also means harmony. So in regards to the whole, because some of you, actually I forgot I'm only reading for one person. Well, some of you will, so I guess it could play out either way. For the first scenario, it's kind of like, let's just say if it's a good thing, there's good communication between you and another person too, you know, involved in the situation, maybe a close friend if it's not another person. And then this brings a lot of harmony to your guys' situation. Maybe it's a 3-person relationship, which, you know, is possible, but I've never really, I don't know what card that would represent, but I feel like if there was a card to represent it, maybe that would be it, the 3 of Pentacles, because it's not necessarily like a bad 3 of Pentacles. If it's a third party, yeah, we don't want that, but unless we do, right? So that could bring a lot of harmony and balance to your guys' connection, maybe, but there's a toxicity, remember. So it seems, oh no, I don't do 3-person anything. Nothing at all, huh? Not even like breakfast. That's funny. Okay, so definitely not for you then. So I would say that even that could mean there's a Sagittarius involved. That could mean, so I'm getting Capricorn and Sag here for the signs I'm seeing. Yeah, and it seems like when you meet this person, you'll kind of already get the idea that they're probably not really a good person for me. I could probably not go ahead and associate myself with this, and it might be better for me. So just that's what I think you'll know when you start seeing them. So if you get that vibe with anybody that you're interested in or attracted to, and they could be Capricorn or Sag, then I would, you know, I would do what I need to do, but just warning you, it kind of seems like you're going to go for it anyway. So yes, yeah, it's your next, well, it's not necessarily committed. Remember, I changed the question a little bit because I don't want to ask what's your next committed relationship, because we don't know if you'll ever have one, you know, we just don't know that yet. So for me to ask that, it would be like me saying you will have a next committed relationship. So what I said was the next person you're highly attracted to, or the next person that you have a significant relationship with. Who is that person? Can you give us their sign? Can you give us an understanding of what they're like or what that will be like? So basically, you know, I'm getting Capricorn, Sag. It could be a person, when you meet them, you'll probably already kind of know they're not really probably good for me. You know, they're probably there's toxic things about them. There's things about them that I just don't jive with. There's things about them that make me feel uncomfortable or just make me feel like they're going to eventually be not good for me, you know, and you'll kind of already get that vibe when you meet this person. Or, you know, maybe not even when you meet them, but upon your idea of wanting to date them, you're going to go through all of this in your head and you're going to already know. Like, okay, I don't really think that they're... Yeah, it sounds like it could be a past connection, but I mean, I feel like it could be. It's possible. Yeah, the thing about it, you guys, is like we all do have free will. So when I say like your next relationship looks like it's going to be shit or this person's going to be a bad person, just know that you do have the power to not make that decision. But with the devil here, it kind of seems like you're going to anyway, but you don't have to, and you certainly shouldn't, you know, but we do all have free will. So whatever happens from now to then, anything could change. And if you decide not to go for it, then the next person after that could be even better. You know, that's what I recommend. But, you know, by the time you meet this person, maybe they'll have changed their whole course of life. I mean, it's just showing you pretty much from right now on. So anything could change at any time because of our free will. So that person's free will, your free will, everyone's free will changes everything. So this isn't like a fated thing. So just keep an eye out for like the next person you really want to start dating. You'll kind of feel that vibe of they're not probably good for me, and then just don't do it. That's what I could say for that. Yeah, thanks, Jenna. Because she's saying we're all here to get guidance and create our own paths, showing the current energy. So yeah, great way to put it. What's my crush feelings? What are my crush's feelings, and what does he think of me? Okay. Gemini girl. Tell me about her crush and what does he feel for her? What does he feel for her currently? Okay. Either he sees you as very afraid and vulnerable, or he feels that way around you. He feels like it's hard for you to take action, or it's hard for him to take action toward you. I feel like he sees you as a very broken person. Did you open up to him in a certain way that you're kind of letting him know things about you that have happened and, like very deep things that have scarred you? Like, have you opened up to him in that way at all? Because it kind of seems like he sees you as a person that, I mean, maybe you haven't, but for some reason he's seeing you as a person who has been through a lot and who struggles to make decisive action. Okay, it's almost like he's trying to figure you out, and that's what he's come up with. Unless you know that to be true about him, then that could be him. But since this is talking about what he feels for you, it's almost like he's very like possessive without even, because you said he doesn't open up emotionally. So it's kind of interesting that he would be possessive at all. It's almost like you don't even know that he's being possessive, like he's not making it obvious. But he holds on to you in a way, even though you aren't connected yet. So give me the potential here for them to start dating and have a relationship. Remember what I said, non-committal. This could be an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, since we have the fire, but it doesn't have to be. But what I do see, basically, the potential for you guys to have a relationship, it looks like you could very well have a very passionate bond that will be short-lived, because the Knight of Wands represents somebody who comes in, is kind of like all passionate and all about you, and just the whole connection, just like very, very on fire in a good way. And then they just kind of ride out of town and you don't really see him again. So it's like in regards to how he is a Sag. Okay, so you know what they say about Sagittarius, right? Easy to get, hard to keep, right? So definitely fits. Any Sagittarius out there, don't take that personal. That's a generalized statement. Not all of them are that. Not all of them are that way. A lot of them are, but that doesn't mean you are. So I'm not trying to say that, but I'm just saying that that's what I've noticed, and that's what happens a lot. So it kind of makes sense for this reading. So yeah, probably very passionate connection that doesn't go very far. You may be a bit confused after that, but let's see about the outcome here. Feeling stuck, like your hands are tied. But here's the thing about the Eight of Swords. She has a blindfold on, right? And she has all these swords around her. But these swords, like, look at her feet. She can walk away at any time. She's free to go. It's just, this is a very mental card. It's not even about action, because that would be wands, right? So we're talking about swords here. We're talking about mental energy, thoughts, your own personal thoughts. And this woman doesn't know that she can walk away because she's tied up. She's blindfolded. All she knows is that she's tied up and blindfolded. So she doesn't know that she actually, in regards to your life, it's almost like you don't know, you don't realize that you can walk away. or you can not feel stuck in this, you know? But because you do feel that way, it's very real to you and that's your reality. So I don't want to invalidate that. But that's the whole gist of the Eight of Swords. It's, you know, it's not, you're not really stuck, or you're not really in such a bad position where you really are powerless. You're not powerless. You know, you can actually do something to get yourself out of this. So just keep that in mind if that plays out for you in this connection. And he sees you as very guarded and very afraid, you know, very anxiety, very worried about what's next, what's going to happen next to me, you know? So maybe he feels like he kind of wants to, like, make sure nothing happens to you or something. But that could turn kind of odd and weird and just kind of like uncomfortable, since we had that possessiveness, you know? Like he tries to hold on to it, and it's like overdoing that. But then he also won't, if he does flee eventually with the Knight of Wands there, which is, you know, I'm pretty sure he will eventually not really be around, and it will be kind of like, okay, you know, it won't really be like you knew that was going to happen. It'll be like, we were just really passionate and now we're not, and you're like gone. So what's that about? So just guard your heart. Maybe it's saying you're supposed to be guarding your heart. I don't know. I mean, I would definitely say that's a good idea. You know, make sure that they're serious about you before you get too involved. Okay, who's next? You, Jenna? Okay. Caleb changed his mind on hanging out with me. He said, I don't feel comfortable seeing you for a while after our 3-hour conversation. What is going on? Is it good to just ignore him? He seems scared to see me. Okay. What's going on in Caleb's mind right now in regards to this connection? Let's see it from Caleb's view. What is he thinking, feeling? What does he understand about this connection? What is he trying to accomplish? What are his intentions? Why is he not wanting to speak anymore? Give us his energy, please, in regards to this connection. Okay. Dare I say that he may be trying to talk to somebody else? If you know that if there's an Aquarius around that he's been attracted to in the past, or you know he talks to a lot and kind of flirts with or something, and I would say that would make some more sense. Like, it would be that. It also could not represent Aquarius, and it could represent him having hope for a new connection, because the Page of Cups is, first of all, a card talking about, you know, courting someone, you know, showing them affection, showing them, you know, attention emotionally, trying to, you know, flirt, or trying to, you know, usually a new connection. Could be a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, because we have cups here, and that's water signs. So it doesn't have to be a water sign, but basically what it's talking about is he's, you know, opening himself up to someone else, and he sees hope in that, or it's an Aquarius person, because the star represents Aquarius. So if it's not an Aquarius person that he's involved with or trying to be involved with, then it could represent that he has hope and faith in this connection, like he feels like it could be something. And the reason that I feel like it's a new person is because of the Page of Cups, and also because of the Empress. The Empress represents new beginnings, like the birth of something new. And it could also represent pregnancy. So maybe he gets somebody pregnant. Keep your eye out for these types of things. Let's see what else we can get. What is the potential for you two, not these two, but you two, to be in another relationship? What would that be like? Interesting. So it seems like he's going to be, I don't know if it's this person that we're talking about here, where he's kind of trying to see a new person, or he's interested in somebody, but it seems, you know, if it's not a new person, it could even just be something that he cares about a lot and he's trying to get involved in it. But the Page of Cups usually, you know, it usually means a person you're trying to give your affections to. So I do see that it's possible you guys could connect again because you do have the Queen of Cups here. So that represents, you guys care about each other genuinely. There is still that feeling there. And dare I say, this could even mean that he walks away from somebody and is on a search for something more and finds you again, but is still indecisive about whether or not he wants to create that connection with you again. We have the Empress here with this whole situation in the beginning. So I feel like that's something he's going to want to work toward starting, having a beginning of some sort with this. But then, in regards to your guys' potential, it's showing that you guys still care. And it seems like he's going to be on the hunt or the search for more in his life because he doesn't feel the connection that he has with the person he's with at the time. It could be this person we're talking about in the beginning or someone completely different. Or it could just be him being single and searching for something more in his life. So he's searching for this thing and then he finds you, but he's still indecisive about whether or not he wants to make that connection and go for it again. But we have the King of Cups here, just like the Queen of Cups. We get 2 cups, 2 of the same suit, King and Queen. It pretty much means that there's a relationship like going on. So I feel like that is kind of eventually that will happen. In the event that you guys still care about each other like this, then I don't see why not. So let's see the outcome for that relationship. Interesting. Interesting. So there's a lot of indecisiveness here. I feel like one of you is very, just not mature enough to be in a very long-term relationship to where it could work and you can consider each other. I think it's talking about him also because we do have the Libra card here. So it's like he's the one who's indecisive about things. He's the one who's a bit childish about things or just a bit not mature, immature. We do have the Page of Wands as well, and that's why I feel like it's a more immature energy because the Page of Wands is talking about somebody who is like taking actions that are like without thinking very much, kind of just hastily going and not really considering much, much like the King of Wands, but it's more than that because it's just very young energy. So it's like somebody who's like really just not even thinking about everything they've learned in life and they're just going to go and take actions that probably aren't good for them. So it's kind of like he's just not thinking things through very well. I don't know if he gets distracted easily or just doesn't like to think things through. But because at first we're getting like this is a very responsible connection that he wants to provide stability to your life and you his life. And also with the King of Wands. So it's like somebody who takes action, somebody who is not lazy, somebody who like is going to do what they need to do, like in regards to having the Knight of Pentacles here. And the King of Wands, King of Wands takes action and is sure of himself and his actions, and he's not sitting around thinking about it or dreaming about it in his mind. He's taking actions that are appropriate. And the Knight of Pentacles is talking about somebody who's responsible and wanting to bring more stability to their lives and to your life. So it seems like there is disappointment here because though he's trying to provide this, it's like he's still, I guess he just hasn't figured it out yet, We have somebody who's looking at the negative instead of the positive. Because of these 2 cups right here that are still standing here, that's the positive. These 3 cups that are falling down, those are the negative. But what this is representing is that there is still a positive connection that you have and that you can create. So hopefully by that time, say this actually does play out, in regards to all the events of life and free will, then hopefully at that time they'll be more mature to be able to handle all the everything that comes with the relationships. But it seems like there could be a little bit of disappointment because for some reason they're just not really, maybe they're just not sure of themselves enough to take actions that are appropriate. And you see that being a Virgo, you're like kind of wondering what they're doing and why, And it could be that he's just not really even sure himself. So it becomes this thing that's, you guys are trying to grow up and become adults that are, have their shit together, and he's just not really exactly on the same page as you in that respect. Yeah. There could be another girl. There actually could. But I feel like when you guys, because since we're looking at the potential of when you guys will get back together after talking about the new connection or something he cares about, then it seems like that thing didn't satisfy him. And it might not even be that he's still with that person anymore. It could be that it's just he's single and he's still looking for something in his life to satisfy him, or he's with someone completely new and he's not getting what he wants there. So, I mean, anything could really happen there. He might be single, he might be connected to somebody else. But either way, the point is when he does make his way back to you, it's because he's just not satisfied with life. He finds an interest in you again, but he might be kind of take that action or just not really know how to approach it or not really know if it's a good decision or not. Like he's waiting for more information until he figures out whether or not it's a good decision. Because with the Hanged Man, he's waiting for some kind of information or enlightenment. He's hanging there waiting. See the sun around his head? That's enlightenment. Like he's given information that makes him feel empowered to do something instead of just waiting and hanging there and not really knowing what's next and just kind of like waiting it out. So hopefully he gets that information. He's able to make that decision. Okay. Manisha? Got 30 minutes. Okay, Emily, Manisha, if you come back on, let us know. We'll put you in there. Okay. How has the Capricorn been viewing me since we separated? How has her Capricorn been viewing her since they separated? We'll look at the progression. Has there been a difference in how he's felt? Give me the time period between like when well, no. Obviously it's not going to be the same as that unless it was very recently. But give me the energy of this person that she used to see with the Capricorn. Also knows if they got separated, what has he felt about her? Give us an indication of that. Very still cares, still wants you to be happy, is closed off for some reason. I think he feels like the relationship ended in a way that was hard, difficult for him and you. It could have also been that you guys usually are in a situation where you make it past those hard things, and we want, you guys usually got past those things, but now, it came to the time where you just couldn't or you didn't, but he still does care about you a lot in kind of a nurturing way and wants you to be happy, wants happiness for you, thinks you deserve that, but is also very closed off to you, so is not probably speaking to you or giving you much, like if you're looking for closure or something like that, he's not really giving you that. But if it was a connection where you felt like you got closure and things were kind of like on the same page as far as separating, then, or at least you know where he was coming from and you're not confused about that, then it could just mean he's not communicating with you right now. Yes, we aren't speaking. Okay. Yeah, it seems like he's not opening up or taking any offers that you may be presenting to him. See that hand there? Offering him that cup, and he's just like, no. Like it's almost just stubborn. It's almost like, okay, like you can be a little bit more positive or open, but doesn't look like that's what he's doing. But I do also see that he cares about you a lot. So I think maybe he's trying to find what he really wants to be doing right now, and he's just not trying to focus on the relationship or get back into the same routine. You know, he cares. He wants you to be happy, but he does see it. It was very harsh the way it ended. And usually you guys are able to kind of go through that together and still make it work, but this time you weren't. So he's trying to really go over everything right now and try to figure out what exactly has happened to him, what's going on, what he's trying to do. It's almost like the hermit, but like he's trying to judge his situation. Like he's trying to do the right thing for himself, I guess you could say. He's trying to make right with himself. So in regards to how he feels towards you, I think he cares about you a lot, but I don't think he's going to be opening up, you know, anytime soon. Maybe in the future he might, obviously. That's a possibility. But, you know, it's not saying like he'll never speak to you again. I don't even know what that would look like, you know, but it doesn't seem like it seems like right now it's going to just be what it is for now. But what he feels towards you is he still cares, but not enough to try and make a connection again just yet, if at all ever. So just, even though he cares about you, don't take that, you know, too much to the heart and think that that means he's going to pursue you or trying to make it right, because he might not, you know. Okay, I'm glad that resonates. Awesome. Okay. Who's next? Haven't really been paying attention to the list because I just know that Emma's got it. Okay. Charlie Bear. Charlie Bear. Cheer up, girl. Or boy. I don't know. I don't know if you're a guy or girl, but you're up. Jenna and Jenny. Okay. Girl, okay. Yeah, can you post the question again, please? I'm already pulling for you, but okay, could I please get a general on career? Applied for 2 jobs, no word. Okay. Well, it looks like something is going to happen, muster up, because, okay. So this could be a repeated thing for you. But things are moving forward, and actions are, it's almost like, I feel like things are happening right now under the surface, that actions are being taken in regards to that, but you're obviously not experiencing that part of it, but it's just telling me basically there is some kind of direction that you're going in, and this could be a repeated thing for you, like this, you know, whole cycle of not being able to find work or something, but it also means, you know, the world keeps going, keeps turning, so we are moving in some direction, and things are about to take action or take shape. That's a good way to put it. Things are taking shape. So let's see, in regards to these 2 jobs, nice. I just flew out. Wheel of Fortune. So obviously that means, you know, something, so sparkle or sprinkle of fairy dust on your situation in a way. So give me the potential outcome. Give me the potentials of these 2 jobs. Tell me about any work that you should be focused on. And then maybe if it comes out one of the jobs that sounds like that, then that's the job. But let's see. What did I learn today? That's a cool name. And work at the moment, one is external and one is internal, but there's a chance of restructure either. Okay. it seems like you're disappointed with something in your current work situation, but then you reunite with something that you either it's something from your past that made you really, really happy, because we do have the Ten of Cups here, so it shows that you're very happy in that situation. But it could even mean that you go back to something that you had just left behind because you were so disappointed in it, and then you find new happiness in it. So remember you said, I don't know if it was you the other day that was talking about, work, and you were asking if you should stay in the same job, the same company, or if you should move to a different company. Because the company you were at currently, you weren't happy and the people just weren't treating you right or understanding of, you didn't connect well with them. I don't know if that was you, but if it was, then this is kind of saying that you're probably going to be leaving that behind, but then you might actually go back to it. I think you said there was like another job in that same company that they wanted you to do, and you thought maybe it'd be better to do that. Oh, no. The field. You want to be a counselor or something with financial services, but you thought maybe I'll help because you're helping the rich. Is that you? Let me just, before I go off on that, was that you who you said you help the rich stay rich, and you didn't really like that about it? You kind of wanted to do something else like counseling, or you even thought maybe financial services for helping people that are, going through financial burdens and struggles, and they need your help to kind of organize that better. Yeah, okay, perfect. Because I was like, if that's not you, that's kind of like I need to redo this. But so yeah, it's almost like I feel like maybe that's probably the job that you're gonna go for, because it's showing an abundance of happiness. So you leave something behind, right, that you're disappointed in at work. Kind of like how we talked about the other day, you're just not satisfied there. And then you reunite with something else. It's almost like a coming together, a celebration where you guys see how they're like cheering. And they're like, it's almost like there's this ceremony almost, but it doesn't have to be a ceremony. It's just basically representing you going back into something, like reuniting with it, or an idea that you had from the past. Could be that too. And this is where you find happiness. So if there are any ideas that you've had from the past that you've been considering taking action toward and creating in your current life, it could be talking about that. Now, if that doesn't ring a bell at all, then I would say it's one of the jobs that we were talking about, the financial services or the counseling, and whichever one you feel like this resonates with in regards to you feeling disappointed and then reuniting with something. What would that mean for you? You're reuniting with something that brings you a lot of happiness after you are disappointed in something else. So obviously that's kind of vague. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, then I'm sure it would be very vague. But I feel like you kind of already get the idea since we were talking about this the other day. Whichever one you feel like would make you happier, or whichever one you'd be reuniting with some kind of thought in your mind where you wanted to do this. Let's see if we can get anything else. You're focused on providing more stability to your life, money. It looks like it's going to make a lot of money. Oh, well, isn't that a blessing? Isn't this what you'd want to get for like anything? Providing more stability. It's almost like someone's offering you like their pentacle, like, but it could even be you providing it for yourself, because this is where you're headed. And then you see the King of Pentacles there, so he's a person who is not without, materially speaking. And then we have the Ace of Cups, so it's something that's very abundantly, emotionally, you feel fulfilled. So good. So in regards to these two jobs, you haven't gotten anything on them. Tell me the potential of her getting work with these two jobs that she has applied for. Okay. We see some kind of offer. So if not an offer, talking about those two jobs that you applied for, then there's another offer. But there is an offer. So I feel like this is not, you won't be without a job. Remember the Wheel of Fortune in the beginning? It was kind of, here's some fairy dust, sprinkle fairy dust and good luck. And then these things kind of happen for you. So I feel like keep your eyes out. There's going to be an opportunity that comes your way that someone tries to offer you. It could be one of those two jobs we're talking about. It may not be. It may be something completely different. But you will know, because it'll be an offer for a job or something that could turn into a job that you'll be very satisfied with. So I would say if anyone's offering you things, try to be open to that right now. And try to not refuse work. Try to just be open to things that people want you to do or offer you to do. Okay. Okay, so yeah, maybe you pick up on the counseling again, something that makes you feel very fulfilled to be there, probably because you're helping people out. Your comment about you're helping the rich stay rich and you weren't happy with that. It seems like you want to be doing something for people who are less fortunate, or, you just want to be of service to people. You don't want to make things worse for other people. So counseling, it seems like a good idea for you since you have that care, and that concern. So, okay, oh wait, I'm sorry, Marvy. If Marvy's not here, who are we looking at? Thank you. Okay, JJ. Yeah, something's coming in. I do see that. It could even be not something that's related to those 2 jobs you applied for, but something else. Okay. Okay, JJ. What's coming towards me in love? Okay. Well, you could be going toward it. Remember when we asked that? Like, what's coming towards me? Maybe it's not coming towards you and you're going toward it and you initiate it. So I know it's kind of like, okay, well, same thing, but it's, how you ask the question does matter. So let's say the next thing that's going to happen for you in your love life. What is that? What would happen with that? How is that going to play out here in your next significant relationship? Could be a Leo. I say that because we get this card talking about, recognition, accomplishment. It's like the people in their community even are like around this person, kind of marching around and almost like celebrating. So to me, it says like it'll be a very public relationship or a person who gets a lot of attention, or maybe you will get a lot of attention being with this person for some reason. And Leos can be a little dramatic and ruled by the sun. They're the center of attention lots of times. So that's just an idea, could be a Leo. Oh, there you go. Yeah, Leo rising even. Because it's how people are viewing you in the rising sign, right? Okay. What else can we say for this person? Could also be an air sign, which would be Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius. Somebody who's responsible, if not an air sign. Somebody who is going to expect you to take responsibility for your actions. And, I would think that obviously you're expecting the same from them. But it seems like overall they are at least trying to project that they're a very responsible person. They expect, they kind of have high expectations for, they don't want you to just be full of shit and not doing well with your life. They want you to be, owning up to things and being an adult about things, taking responsibility for yourself. So could kind of it could help you to grow a little bit, if you're not really that way now. This person will expect that of you. And so there is a little bit of conflict in the situation. The person could be kind of like assertive or downright aggressive even. I mean, this card isn't really about healthy boundaries. It's about somebody who wants to fight and win. And that's pretty much all. That's pretty much it. Like they don't really want to compromise or hear you out. So this person could be a little aggressive. And it could we have 2 queens here. So very, very strong feminine energy. I do feel like this person, it's just a very, very strong energy they have. So they could be a bit like bossy even. They know what they want and they know how to get it. It's funny because we don't really see many wands in the situation here, except for, of course, the 6 of wands, where I said it could have been a Leo. But if it's not, it doesn't have to be fire sign. It just reminds me of fire, like pushing forward and, you know, just doing things that they need to do for themselves, but also being very motivated and ambitious. But at the same time, they're almost expecting the same from you. So if you don't jive with that, then it could be a little uncomfortable for you. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm talking about he or she. Okay. Yeah, so you're getting back with an ex, huh? Or maybe that's who's coming toward you in love, right? But you know what's funny is I have this card next to me right now, and I never acknowledged it. But just because you said that right now, something just occurred to me that could actually be relevant, because this is the first card I got. I just didn't really look at it and, you know, incorporate it, because I thought maybe it just, you know, I just started shuffling. I don't really feel it. But it's interesting because if this is how you feel in regards to your next person, you feel a little bit stuck, like your hands are tied, like you kind of have no other choice, or you have to do this, or you just feel like stuck there. And then we're talking about who's coming towards you. It could be an ex. Maybe you feel like you don't really want to do that with them, but at the same time you have no other choice, or you don't want to hurt their feeling, or something to where you just kind of feel stuck in that position. So that could be the case. But in this other, you know, in the other part of the reading, it's before incorporating that, we could be talking about somebody in regards to how they seem or how they act or their behavior. It's somebody very aggressive, ambitious, and very in your face, maybe even bossy, telling you what to do or expecting a lot from you. So that rings a bell for anybody. Maybe it's a new person. Somebody where there's a lot of attention given on this relationship, like people are hearing about it a lot, or you're, you know, like words going around about you a lot. So pretty much everyone knows your situation together. So that's your next person for love. So who is next? I think, yeah, no, it's gone out now. Before I could see kind of like who was next, and now I can't. So just bear with me for a sec. Okay. All right, yeah, go ahead and post your question. I am ready for you. Okay. Having a hard time letting go of something maybe from the past? From the past? Okay. So I see here in this card that just flew out, you could be trying to let something go from the past, but also wanting to move forward, but it's just difficult to do that for obvious reasons. But you could feel a little held back, but at the same time not really trying to let go of it either. So you could be holding yourself back in that regard. Hello, Intuitive Tarot, or RD Intuitive Tarot. I am great. How are you? Rupali, are you here still? Because I know it's your turn. I just haven't gotten your question yet. I know you said you're posting. So we're just waiting for your question. I think since we're almost done with this, I want to go, because I'm going to cut it in an hour. So we have about 6 minutes. So I might just kind of move on to the next person. And whenever Rupali posts, I will answer that question after. So Jenny G. Or is it Jenny G after? Oh, okay. Rupali. Oh, okay. Sorry, there's... when the question comes up, Rupali, I will answer it, so just don't worry about that. Yeah, just go ahead and retype your question. I'll get to you right after I do Jenny's. What does my... I just want to keep it moving, you know? What does my ex want from me? I've been getting that he's coming towards me. Okay, so tell me about this person's ex, about Jenny's ex. Woo! And their intentions and feelings toward Jenny. What are their feelings toward Jenny? What are their intentions with Jenny? If any at all. What's the connection between them? Okay. Is this a fire sign person? That would be Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. I also have Taurus here, and I would say it's either fire or Taurus. He's a Sagittarius. Okay. So it looks like he's wanting something new and exciting, and that could be what his intentions are. But at the same time, we do get this energy of him not thinking things through very properly or for very long, you know, or at all. It's just kind of he's taking actions hastily. So it could be something that he eventually regrets or isn't feeling so great about anymore. Like he might think, oh, this is a good decision now, but then, you know, there's nothing saying that he's going to regret it. It's just when we're talking about somebody who's making decisions that are not very well thought through, then they could end up backing off on that. So that's just kind of what I feel like I had to say there for a second. Dare I say it could be a person who's married, because that's the Hierophant here. It could be somebody that you highly respected at one point. It doesn't have to be marriage. Someone who's very religious, maybe. But we also get a little bit of toxicity here. I feel like your guys' I feel like your guys' relationship in the past was kind of rocky. It ended in a way that was heartbreaking, bad, you know, and pretty toxic for you. Maybe even the both of you. It could even have been a third person involved there. So it seems like he's kind of wanting a refresher. You might think that you can provide that to him, or that he sees you in a new light. Maybe he wants to approach you because he just thinks you haven't seen you in a while. You look great or whatever, you know. But it looks like it's something that's kind of codependent, and if not, there's something about it that just isn't really healthy, you know. So I think he may or may not take action toward you. You know, the Fool is talking about somebody who wants like adventure and excitement. So it's possible that he could, if he feels like you could be that person to provide that, or to, you know, kind of share that experience together. But it could just be a passing thought, you know. And like I said before with the Page of Wands, it's like, Page of Wands, it's like somebody who's not really thinking things through, just kind of like taking actions. And same with the Fool, he's not worried about things. He's not learning from his past and taking that with him on his next journey. He's kind of just like, I don't even care, not a worry in the world. I'm just going to go and I'm going to have a good time. I don't even care. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to enjoy myself. So that's what he's on the hunt for right now, basically. Okay, and then we have Will Shibram Banerjee. I don't know. I'm not saying that correctly probably, but this is for Rupali. Will you give me a job offer within this week? You said in the last read, I'll get this job. Okay, so let's see what's happening now in regards to that. Anything has changed here? Tell me anything changed in regards to her job or career coming toward her. Well, being offered to her, or the next job that she's going to be getting. Tell me about the next job that she's going to work in. And maybe we can get a range of time too, so that it will make more sense as to what it might be. Okay, something either that is going to provide stability for you, or that you're going to be able to help other people, like because you have enough security within yourself to do that. The Nine of Pentacles is talking about a woman who has all her pentacles there. So she's good. She knows what she doesn't. It's saying she's stable. She has enough, to take care of herself. And then she has this garden around her that she's tending to, and also this bird in her hand. So that's highlighting the fact that she can take care of herself and she can take care of others. And she's caring enough to want to do that, but also that she has enough financially and materially. She has enough security to be able to help other people as well. So you could be doing something where there's, you're helping other people out. This is Leo. It's also representing strength. So we're talking about, you being strong enough to help people, you being strong enough to, or just having to stay strong while you're waiting for another job. I mean, there's a lot of strength that you're going to have to lean on, that you're going to be building up. And if we're talking about a job here, I feel like it's talking about somebody you can help empower people, if that makes sense for you and maybe some of the job offers you have right now. And if it doesn't, like I was going to say before, but I didn't really say it, I kind of said it without saying it, but it could be something new too. So it's not necessarily that you would even know what it will be, because it might not be presented to you yet. But it seems like the nature of the job is going to be you putting yourself out there for people and kind of trying to help them direct their own lives, in a way that makes them feel empowered. I don't like that. Okay, communication in all of your in all of your efforts to find another job, they need to be completely honest. You need to make sure you're working with people who are honest, because there could be a person who's being sneaky here and you would have to end up being defensive for yourself. But it's highlighting that communication is going to be a good thing. Like, it's going to be necessary and required for you to not get screwed over, I guess you could say. I mean, 7 of Swords, 9 of Wands. I'm sorry, 7 of Wands. 7 of Swords and 7 of Wands. So there's a person who's being sneaky and kind of like running off with something without your knowledge, and then being defensive and trying to hold their own, trying to keep themselves above water. Like, all these wands are theirs, and people down here are kind of trying to throw theirs at him, but he's winning. He's on this hill and those are his wands. So he's fighting back, and he's winning. He's not being taken down. So I don't think it will completely ruin your financial situation if somebody is being sneaky about that. It could also be talking about you being sneaky and trying to, assert yourself in a way that just isn't genuine, in a way that isn't really honest and in tune with who you actually are. And so it's saying you need to communicate in an honest way, since it is upright. I only do uprights. I don't do reversals, but that's kind of, we're talking about good communication here. So that's why I'm saying just be honest. And it also, could represent you taking the sword in your life, taking actions that are going to, like, to where you feel like you have more control over your situation. It's not just waiting for a job to fall in your lap, or, what's going to happen for me. It's like, what are you going to make happen? You know what I mean? So I think something will happen. It probably has to do with you helping people, or being some kind of a voice for them, or helping them to find their voice. Helping them to feel empowered is the best way that I can put it in regards to what I'm seeing. It looks like the next job you're going to have is one that is in regards to these energies right here. So if that job that you are looking at right now has anything to do with you helping people, or empowering people, or using your own past strength in order to help people find what their strength is. See if you can get anything else on it. Tell me about this next job. What's going to happen with this job that we were talking about before? If they've really been wanting. I feel like you're in competition with other people for this job. The one that we were talking about before, the one that you're asking about specifically, that one, a decision hasn't been made yet, because 2 of Swords, a decision has to be made. So I would say it hasn't been made yet. It seems like that's the main energy of the person. Like, the energy is a decision has to be made. And then we do see the Queen of Cups and a few different people fighting, manifestation, a lot of different options, and then a self-check of sorts for you. Doing that hermit mode. Is this something you really want to be doing? Why? Where do you think it's going to take you? And if it doesn't, what will you feel then? What will you do then? Will that be okay? Are you going to be satisfied with that? Is this something you really want? That's what the hermit is. You're taking that time to kind of reflect and figure out where you're at with yourself. And I do see other options too. So this is not the only option you have in regards to work. And this specific job we're talking about now, the one that you're asking about, this shows that there could be competition for it with other people. Like, I don't think you're the only person applying to this, and I think it's a pretty competitive situation. Even if you guys aren't directly communicating with the other competitors, it's like that's just the vibe, is that there's other people really wanting this job too. So that's probably why a decision hasn't been made yet, because they're trying to pick the best person. There's a lot of them out there. And but I do see manifestation. You have what it takes to get the job. Whether or not you will get it, something is saying that you need to do a self-check and reflection on your own without other people's opinion. You know, this is your own voice that you're taking the time with yourself to figure out. And I feel like it's asking that because you may be getting yourself into a situation that you aren't going to be happy with. So it's just asking you to take that time to think about, do you really want to do this? That's what I feel like it is. You know, it seems like the hermit is coming out to say, like, you need to think if this is really what you want. So maybe because you're going to get it, like, careful what you wish for kind of thing, or maybe because you're not going to be satisfied with it if you do get it, and you need to consider other options, because there are other options out there. So I don't think it is decided yet for you from this person who's supposed to hire you or somebody else. I don't think the person that's supposed to hire the person that will get the job, I don't think they've decided yet who will get it. So that's what it's showing me for now. Okay, career reading. Marvy. Oh, okay, Marvy's back. Good. Okay. Career reading. Let's see. Okay, that's perfect, Jenny. Thank you. We'll finish those ones out for sure. Okay. Okay. So career reading. I love this deck. It's so vivid and like it's borderless, so it just looks, you have more attention on the cards themselves. They're just so beautiful, the colors. I love it. Okay. So Marvy for work. Let's see her career. Looks like stability. A little bit of loneliness, but that's associated with you doing really well and just not being able to socialize as much. I wouldn't worry about it. Shoot. Looks like money's coming in. So I forget, right now, is it still Mercury retrograde? I don't know if any of you know if it's Mercury retrograde still. I think it's supposed to end soon, or it just ended. I'm not sure what the exact date was supposed to be. I have not been keeping up with it, but I know it's around this time that it's either already ended or it's supposed to be ending soon. So, hang on a second, let me see. Google. When is Mercury retrograde? Mercury retrograde dates 2020. Hold that thought. Okay. Oh. Okay. October 14th is when it started. to November 3rd. So here is why a lot of you are getting questions like, or having questions like this. And there's a lot of transitions and a lot of things from the past happening now. That's because it's Mercury retrograde, my friends. And look it up and figure out, you know, it'll explain it very well to you, but I'll explain it to you briefly. It's a time when Mercury isn't really going backwards, but in the solar system, or, you know, in the up above us, it looks like it is, because it slows down and it starts to look like, you know, when you're in a car and like the person starts like say it's a big bus and the tires start going and you kind of feel like you're going backwards, but really you're going forward, or they're going forwards. So it kind of gives you that illusion of like who's really moving right now. And that's what it's doing up there with Mercury. So it's not really going backwards, but that's what the effect of it has on people, is what, you know, astrologers think and have noticed in the past. You know, that's kind of what happens during that time. So there's 3 times a year that this happens. Right now we're currently in one of those stages. So basically about 3 weeks, maybe 4 with the after effects. We're going to have these situations where communication isn't being, like you're sending text messages or emails, they're not being received, or communication is like you're clashing with people communicatively, there's miscommunication, because Mercury rules, you know, well, Gemini and Virgo, but Gemini is the more talkative one than Virgo, right? Virgo knows a lot of information and tries to figure out what information is useful and what isn't, and tries to like, Gemini's the more social, but they're more surface level, so they're not really getting deep information with things, even though they can be very intelligent. It's just about exchanging of information, finding information. You know, it's communication, it's short distance travel, you know, so you can have trouble with short distance travels, you know, you could get a flat tire, or things just kind of don't go right during Mercury retrograde, or they just kind of become, there's miscommunication, you know, things just become harder because it's just not running smoothly. You know, that's Mercury retrograde. A lot of people fear it. They say don't sign any contracts at this time. You know, if you get a job offer, like just wait it out, you know. Don't make any big decisions right now. This is a time when you should be like considering what your decisions are, but not actually making big decisions. If that's what you know, we all have free will. You're going to do what you're going to do. But Mercury retrograde, that makes sense why a lot of you are asking about the past, or you're getting your past connections, you know, that are coming toward you, because when Mercury retrograde is happening, you tend to think of the past and you might try to act on that, but a lot of times it's not good to go for it unless it lasts, like the person is still trying to come your way after the 3 weeks, like November 3rd, and this person is still trying to contact you, then it could work out. And this is just, you know, in some people's minds, it might be kind of like a superstition. So it's not really, I'm saying this is a fact, what will happen. You know, we do have free will still, but that's the whole idea of Mercury retrograde, is like if somebody from your past tries to come back your way and you accept it, then it could be over as soon as Mercury retrograde kind of wears off. They could kind of change their mind, or it won't, you know, go very far. And same with any jobs you have, any contracts. I know I'll get to the question in a second. I just kind of wanted to explain that because that's probably why a lot of these changes are trying to happen right now. You guys are trying to figure out like what you're supposed to do next, and things are a little bit confusing. You know, you're not getting your job, you're not getting word back from a job that you tried to apply for. Miscommunication. Make sure you're checking your spam folder. You know, make sure you're checking and rechecking before you send things, or, you know, when you're waiting for a message, make sure you keep checking, you know, because it could just be lost somewhere else. That's kind of the nature of Mercury retrograde. So look it up though yourself too, so you can understand it more. So these are the kind of issues that we could be experiencing now until November 3rd, maybe a little after that, because there's after effects sometimes. But it looks like for you, in regards to career, that money is good, you know, and stability is good. It may require you to be taking certain actions that will help you to progress forward. And what I would say is if you don't take certain actions, you know, those things won't happen. But like I said, maybe not major decisions like changes. It's just basically talking about actions, like baby step actions that need to just be taken in order to progress you. Like you probably already know what those actions are. It's not like a confusing thing you have to figure out. It's just you taking action, you staying motivated, you pushing on, you working hard, you know? I don't see anything bad for the situation regarding your career. It looks like it, all pentacles here and a wand. It looks like it, and if you're able to just keep pushing and keep working at this, I don't see anything that is standing in your way, for you making money and having that stability in your life. Taking action, you guys, that's important. Taking action. Okay. Okay, who is next? What did I learn today? Okay, yeah, can you post your question again if you're still here? What did I learn today? Then cotton candy lover. Will I be able to cope up with my study in the time I have left with me? Catch up? Okay. Are you saying, will you be able to study everything you need to study? Will you have the time to do that, is what you're asking? Is that what you're asking? Okay. Just tell me about her studying. Really need to know about that. Will she have enough time to do it? What is going to be associated with this issue? Do we see any obstacles in the way? Or is it going to follow through? Okay. As long as you work hard. As long as you really put your work to it, your nose to the grind, and just make sure you're really working at it, If you work at it hard enough, it should work out. I don't see it's basically saying it's kind of up to you to be making that happen, to be working hard enough to make it happen. You could have to distance yourself from things or people. Be very straight up and honest with yourself. Yeah, take the sword in your life. You could struggle with knowing whether or not you're going to actually do it because you know how you are. Maybe you get distracted easily. Maybe you have a lot on your plate right now and you just know that you probably, you're worried about if you really will be ambitious enough to actually want to do what you have to do. But basically, it's kind of putting it in your hands here saying, work very hard at it. Don't stop. You may have to distance yourself from people or things. Remember short distance travel. It's a little bit, things might go wrong a little bit. But, they don't have to go wrong. It's just saying, kind of be careful. Make sure you have enough gas. Make sure you have blankets in the car in case you get trapped in the snow or something. I don't know where you are, but, make sure you have jumping cables, for your battery. Make sure you have enough money to get a new tire if one pops. Just be prepared for short distance travel. But you could have to move yourself away from certain people or things in order to really be able to do this for yourself. You have to be straight up with yourself, like the King of Swords is. You just have to kind of logically see if this is something that you want. Okay, well then there's certain things I need to do in order to make that happen. And again, taking the sword in your life. So it's even talking about you have to have this good communication with yourself and know where you're at. I wish the Hermit was here so I could say you have to do that self-reflection and try to figure out where you're at and what you're really trying to do, because it's almost like you don't believe that you will be able to do it, and that's why you're asking. I feel like it really is up to you at this point to make that happen. Take that sword, make that change, if you need to be more focused. It kind of, the swords to me seem, it's more when they're not being totally negative and hurtful and harsh in regards to our situations. They're talking about mental energy, very on point and connected with our mental. So I feel like you will be able to do that. But like I said, it's you have to make sure that you're taking actions that will help you to do that. If you get distracted easily or there's people around you that are partying a lot and you won't be able to do it around them, and yeah, I see you're very stressed out about it. So quit stressing about it. Quit thinking and worrying about that, and just worry about the study. Just focus on that. You're spending a lot of energy on worrying about it so much. And when you could just be doing it. I feel like it's a really boring thing or something. Is that why you don't really want to do it? I don't know, but I think you're really kind of focused on the wrong thing. I think you can do it. No, you don't have to travel. It's just talking about for me, when I see it, it's talking about you getting distance from something. So it doesn't have to be travel, but you know, I'm just putting it out there because it could be. It's talking about you distancing yourself and moving away from something else. Even if it's just during the daytime, you aren't around your roommates because they're too loud and you can't study around them. You go to the library, or, you know, maybe put a blanket out on the grass and study there. Oh, of course you have enough time. Yeah, no, that's what it's saying, is basically you do have enough time. It's just, are you going to make it happen in that time? You know, it's up to you to make that happen. But I think you're stressing too much on the fact of whether you're going to make it happen or not. And you could just be doing it, you know? Not to be rude, but that's basically what that's saying. And in regards to that, to me, it seems like, yeah, you'll be able to do it. You just have to do it. You know, you just have to be focused on that. So, yeah, okay. Does the Capricorn want to reach out to me? Tell me about this Capricorn person and what they're currently feeling toward candy or cotton candy lover. What do we need to know about their intentions with this person? What can we expect from them in the next months, weeks, years, days, weeks, months, years? What can we expect to see from them? Okay. Cool. So they could be bitter about something from your guys' past. And I don't know if it's you that comes to them and communicates, or if they come to you. It seems like you communicate with them, you reach out to them, and then they're defensive about something. Because I see defensiveness here, and that, to me, it feels like they didn't come up to you and just get defensive. I feel like it's their reaction to something. I could be wrong, you know, maybe they did come up to you and just get defensive. But to me, that's just kind of what it seems like, is that they're very kind of like, not very open. They're kind of like aggressive. They feel like they're being attacked almost, even whether or not they are. That's kind of the energy they're putting out. Like, well, what? Well, what? Like, you know, and you're like, whoa, like, okay. Unless you do come at them in a way that, you know, okay, you feel like that's you. So maybe they come at you then, and that's how you're feeling about it. It's in regards to either a pregnancy or a new connection. So whether they have a new connection or you do, maybe that's what you're defensive about. You're still, maybe you're the one who's bitter, but you know, it could be vice versa, of course. But to me, this is the whole energy that's coming out. So however it resonates for you, we're talking about somebody very defensive about a new connection or a new beginning, somebody who's like looking for more in their life. So I don't know if it's him trying to come toward you or you trying to go towards him and he's defensive and you're defensive. Whatever that means for you, that's just the whole energy that is coming out for that, those concepts and ideas. So however that fits for you, I'm a bit bitter about our ending. Does he have a new connection or someone that he is involved with that you feel like talking to him about, like you're going to ask him questions or be like, what the hell, you know? Because it seems like it's in regards to some kind of new beginning. Maybe it's even talking about a beginning that is not involved with you. So you're bitter about it, but I see someone being defensive about something. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could say that, because even though we don't have any swords here, it is talking about somebody. This is kind of like how they're reacting or responding. So I think there's communication at some point for sure. Well, let's see. What about communication between these two? Because this could be talking about like ideas you're having, and you're, you know, being defensive about a new connection and looking for more in your life, or he's looking for more in his life, and maybe you just feel defensive about it. So maybe it's not communication. You know, since we don't have any swords here, let me just go ahead and put that out there too, that it could just be this is what you're feeling. But since we're talking about if he's coming towards you, it seems like if he does come towards you, it's not going to really be like a pleasant conversation. It seems like it's going to be more about, you know, someone trying to be defensive about where they're going in life, and you're not happy about that, or they're not. And I do see the Three of Cups here, so it could be at like a mutual gathering that you guys are having, like a friend or something, or a couple friends that get together and they just happen to be there, or it could be talking about another, another person, a third party. And so I know you guys aren't really together now, but it's talking about like there could be another person involved in this. And maybe that's why you're getting upset about it. So basically you want them to own up to something that they've done. I think if there is another person, you kind of feel hurt by that. You feel like they should be, like they owe you a kind of explanation. Because I'm not sure how you guys ended, but it's like you feel like they haven't taken responsibility for something. And so your hand's out and you're going, like, I'm waiting for your answer. This just is not fair, You feel like it's affected your ability to take care of yourself because of this. Which, of course, is not exactly a statement that is fair or accurate, but at the same time, like you could feel that way. Like that makes sense that you could feel like that. Even if they're not really directly trying to make it harder for you, that's what it could be doing. So you're waiting for them to kind of like own up to something or give you answers about something. So give me a time frame if they will communicate. What's the potential for them communicating again? It's undecided right now? No, but I think there's things that you guys both have to kind of go through in your mind first before you're ready to communicate, probably. Because I think if you're talking to them in a bitter state that you are right now, it probably won't be a good conversation. People don't really react very well to somebody coming up to them and wanting answers about something that is very, like, makes them feel ashamed or is very kind of accusatory, So, I think there's things on both sides that you guys should probably work out within yourselves first before you do speak again. So healing is in store for you and them, Don't talk to them when you're feeling like this because it's not going to be a good conversation. It's just, that's the best way that I can kind of put it is, do you want that kind of a conversation? Things are not going to be happy or make you feel better. It's not going to be something that makes you feel like resolved inside. It's going to be probably hurtful. So, okay, and no problem. Thank you for your question. Let's see. So we have, yeah, the list went up there again. Okay. Re-R. Waiting for you. Okay. Is S pregnant with A's kid? If not, will she be soon? I don't like to answer questions about health or pregnancy, like direct ones. I will see what I get for it. But I don't answer questions about is somebody going to die or is somebody going to, get sick or heal. Like I look into if somebody's going to heal, we can do that. But like, I just want to let you know that, usually you don't answer health questions. But this one is talking about, somebody else's pregnancy. Like it's not you or your life. So it's kind of like dipping into somebody's private life like that, but it's okay. We can see what we can get from it. But it's just, it may not be exactly our business to do that. But let's see what we get. There is the moon, so we have Pisces, but we also have clouded thinking. Could be yours, could be theirs. In regards to a child, what do we have for pregnancies? Somebody who's not committed. So the moon and the Knight of Wands is not something I like to see because it's talking about a lot of confusion, not a lot of clarity. There's just somebody who's not committed to the situation. So I would almost say if they were going to have a kid, it would not really probably be a good idea because they seem like they're passionate about something that they lose interest for very quickly. There's a lot of options, and there's also a lot of ideas about the situation that makes the situation seem better, either better or worse than it actually would be. There's a lot of illusion in this situation. It could even be you thinking that they are doing this. Maybe you have a lot of these ideas in your head about them that aren't exactly accurate, just putting it out there. Not that you're delusional, but just whatever information you're getting to where you're making these assumptions or having these thoughts, the information you're getting, first of all, is not clear. And so it leaves a lot of room for interpretation, you know? And so I would say that there's no decisive actions that they're going to be making anytime soon, any major ones anyway, because we do have all of these different ideas that are very not built in concrete fact, or they're not things that are actually taking place. It's kind of something that seems like it's happening or could be, but it's really not. And somebody who's not committed to the situation as well. So I don't think that they're going to be having any child. It just seems like they're not making any big decisions right now. And if they are, they're not known about it. Like they're not telling each other, they're not making it clear, you know? So it's like if you ever find this out, it won't just be a direct way of you finding out. It will be very like, it won't be anytime soon either, is what I'm getting from that. Like it seems like there's just like things that are happening that aren't really, I don't think any big events like that are happening for them. They don't seem very decisive, or they don't seem like they're very in, like I said, if they are doing that right now, it seems like they're not, like it won't be, people won't know about it. It won't be clear to people. It'll be very like undercover, you know, behind the scenes, just very low, like no one will know until it's a big deal, you know, because they're not being straightforward about things, or they're not giving much information about themselves. If they are giving information about themselves, it's just nothing eventful. So yeah, in regards to your question, I don't think anything major is really happening for them like that. It seems like they're keeping to themselves, or they're being very secretive. Like the reason I'm saying that is because there's a lot of illusion, and there's a lot of clouded thinking. So either it's your thinking that's clouded, or it's them just not making themselves obvious. So whatever's happening with them right now, it's like they're keeping to themselves, or they're being secretive about things. Just to the point to where you are confused and not knowing what they're doing, because they're, you know, like I said, they're not being very clear about it. Like they're not really putting their shit on blast for other people to know. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I saw that in your reading earlier, Jenna. I didn't see anything like that. I think you got the Empress too, though, didn't you? I think it was talking about a new beginning eventually. I think, if I'm getting that correct. Okay. Do you see anything romantic between me and my crush, who is a Gemini? Okay, let's see. Anything between this person and their crush, Mackenzie, who is a Gemini? What is the energy between them going into this next year? What can we expect energetically to be seen between them? Okay, very quickly. There's a reunion or some get-together of some sort. Did you guys like not talk anymore, or is there some kind of separation to where there would be like a reuniting? That's kind of what that reuniting, it's like coming together again, a reunion. It seems like you guys must have been separated or not communicating or distant from each other or something for some kind of like reunion to be happening. It's like you guys were not really around each other a lot. So now if you were around each other now, it would be like because it's a reunion, you know? So I feel like you guys were kind of away from each other for a while. And some new information could be coming out. I feel like you'll have a lot of time to, like even right now could be the time that you are taking a lot of time. Like if you are kind of distant from the person, right now it's because there's a lot of self-reflection going on, and that kind of happens naturally sometimes when we're away from people that we were once close to, is that we kind of start to wonder why that's happening. We might even blame ourselves. But if we're not blaming ourselves, because you shouldn't blame yourself always, you know, it takes two. You should definitely not blame just yourself. But with the cards here, I feel like that's saying you're taking time to yourself now, wondering why this is all happening, and wondering what you're going to be doing with yourself now. And then there's this new information that comes to you. It could even be a new realization. It could be you feeling good in the place that you're at, with or without them. That in itself provides you more stability all the way around. We have Ace of Pentacles here. We have this new information or this like enlightenment, you know, and associated with the Ace of Pentacles, it's talking about stability, and you're coming into your own stability. I feel like you're finding a way to figure out what makes you feel stable and secure, maybe even financially, you know. Ace of Pentacles, there's opportunities for it, for security, a new job, you know, money, possibly. Security can mean many things, whatever that means for you. So, it seems like there's a reunion that leads you to a place where things are more stable. And I think self-reflection, though, will be a big part of it, because you're going to have to figure out what that is that makes you feel stable. And it will be happening very quickly, too, I feel like just without you even really being, like, right around the corner, very abrupt, very sudden, you know. It'll just kind of, like, present itself, and you'll be, like, a bit shocked even. Like, it's very kind of just in your face, forceful. Like, you did not even, it was not gradual. It wasn't like you saw that coming at all. It kind of just happens. So I think you guys will reconnect or get together, and it will just kind of make itself happen, you know, probably without much effort. Like, they may reach out to you in a very, like, in-your-face way. The reason I say that is because, did I just put that card down? Yeah, I did. Let me find it again so I can show you what it looks like, so you can kind of understand what I mean by, like, abrupt and very sudden and just kind of in your face. This one. It's very in your face and abrupt and just kind of like forceful, you know? It's like, he's just going, you know? And you're like, whoa, okay. Like, nothing can stop that person. So it might be very in your face. You know, if that makes sense. There is something going on with the chat. It looks like it's freezing. Hopefully I'm not buffering for you too. Okay. Very good. Now let's see. Oh wait, is that an emoji? That's a trip. I've never seen that one before, unless that's not an emoji. Oh no, that is your emoji. That's like, Jenna, you're putting that. I've never seen that one before. What? Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I've never seen that one before. Come on, is it loading? Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, who's after Ree? I think we're almost done here. RD, Intuitive Tarot. What is your question? Go ahead and post it for us. Okay, what is the next move of my husband's surrender towards me? What is the next move of my husband's surrender? Oh, is that his name? Can you clarify that? His name, okay. What's the next move of my husband towards me? We're in separation. So, okay, again, let's consider there may not be a move towards you, so we have to ask it in a different way. You know, if that makes sense. You guys are in separation, so let's see if there's going to be, what can we expect in regards to any actions taken toward you from him? Like, what can we expect between you energetically within the next year, within the coming days, weeks, months, and year? What can we, what will we see from him in regards to you? Okay. Okay, this is really interesting. Okay, well, I think both of you feel very heartbroken about this. Like, you feel torn too. It could be him feeling torn or you. It seems like you want to be with him, so it feels like, I feel like he's torn. because, you know, at one point it was a very committed, strong connection where you guys felt like you saw eye to eye with each other. So this is what we're getting later. Someone trying to balance themselves out. It could be a Libra. If it's not, it's talking about a person trying to, you know, balance the scales of their life, balance things out, find that moderation, you know, having to do with this broken heart here. You're the Libra. Okay, and you're trying to find that balance. And I would say they are too, though, because this heartbreak here is extensive. It's pretty. I mean, what do you think when you see this card? It's heartbreak, you know, and it's difficult. I think that really throws you off. It would throw anyone off, you know. But his actions towards you, we see him judging himself a lot, trying to figure out, basically kind of like hermit mode. We're trying to figure out what he's trying to figure out where he's at in life, and judging himself, trying to make the right decision. For whatever reason that you guys fell apart, it's not easy for him right now to be dealing with this. But he's trying to make the best decision for himself. He is trying to do something new, though. He might feel a bit stagnant within your connection. And there's a lot of arguments lately, you know, which is kind of screwing with the whole seeing eye to eye thing. You know, we see there could be more than one person involved in these arguments. It could be children. It could be just, you know, people around you, like their friends, your friends, maybe a new connection involved. I'm not sure. However this resonates for you, it's talking about there's arguments, though, and I think it's with more than, it's not just you two. I feel like there's more than one person involved in that. And I think he's wanting to kind of liberate himself and be free. Maybe he feels a bit trapped in the situation. Not to say that you're doing anything to make him feel trapped. It's just that being married thing and having a routine schedule, sometimes people feel like they have to break away from that. Let's see if he is going to be. So I don't think he's doing very well right now. Like, probably same as you, you know, struggling to deal with this. Let's see if he's going to take any actions towards you within the next year. What can we expect any actions taken towards you in the next year, if there are any? So he's disappointed and he's looking at the negative, and he is going to be okay. But I do see that I want to say that he still has a lot of love for you and your situation. I don't want to say that it's completely over yet because of that, but just because there's love there doesn't mean that it is going to be a connection again. But I don't think he's lost that. It's just that whatever is happening that's bad right now in the situation, like the pros and cons, when we're looking at them, I'm sorry if there's glare. When we're looking at the pros and cons of the situation, these 2 cups are still standing. That's the positive. These 3 cups, it's a 5 of cups. These 3 cups have fallen down. That's the negative. And that is what he's focused on, you know? He's focused on the negative. So even if he does have this feeling of caring for you a lot and still loves you, it's him looking at the negative side of the situation. So obviously that is going to make him probably not. And I'm not saying he won't, and I'm not saying he will. This is just kind of where he's at. It seems like he's looking at the negative, and so that would make me think, you know, if he's looking at the negative and not the positive, he may decide to not want to continue that. I just see that, you know, he's trying to do something independent right now, going his own way and not asking for permission from people. When you're married, you know, everyone's different, but it seems like, you know, in any type of relationship, marriage or not, you kind of have to consider the other person's feelings. You want them to know, you know, you want them to be kind of okay with what you're doing and not just totally against it. Like, you usually don't try to just do things that they are not happy with, even if, you know, if it's something you have to do, you know, you do it. But like, you know, we consider the other person. The Queen of Wands, it doesn't mean that they're feminine. It just is a very powerful, strong energy. It just means, you know, she's very independent and she doesn't ask for permission. She does what she needs to do, and she doesn't wait for people's permission. Like, she just does her own thing. So I feel like this is him trying to find, you know, with the Fool here too, him trying to liberate himself and find something new and exciting, and, you know, trying to do something on his own. So he may just need a little time to do that. I don't really see if you guys will be getting back together. It seems like it's still up in the air because he's heartbroken too. And he needs to feel himself again. He needs to feel himself without the connection. He needs to feel like he has an individual self still, you know? And maybe he just felt very, like it was like, instead of it being you, him, and your relationship as 3 different entities, he felt like it was just the relationship and that was what he was, and he's trying to break free from that, and he's trying to be liberated, you know? Not to say that you won't get back together, but it seems like his actions toward you will be very few right now because he's trying to focus on himself. And he's looking at it as kind of a negative thing, that to be disconnected in the way that you guys were before. I mean, it could change, you know, if he's able to see things that he can change and that he thinks it's worth it. I mean, we do have the Ace of Cups here, so I don't think that it's gone and lost and he's just over it at all. I mean, it's probably like kind of saying he'll always have that, like he will always love you, you know? I mean, he has deep, strong feelings. You guys were very connected at one point. But right now, within the next year or so, it seems like he's, you know, going to be focused on himself and how he can kind of live his own life in a way, you know, for now. So I hope that answers your question. So yeah, basically, I don't really see many actions coming towards you, like any actions towards you directly. I just see him trying to do what he wants to do, you know, and that could mean anything, but it seems like he's trying to focus on him, you know, and how to kind of live a life where he doesn't have restrictions even, which could get him into some trouble, but hopefully he doesn't, you know. But yeah, so hopefully that answered your question. I'm glad it resonates. Cool. Okay, so I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching. It's been almost 2 hours and we did it. You know, we answered all the questions on the list. Yay. Come back tomorrow. We'll do this again. And I would love to answer your questions again. Always have a great time doing this. So check out my website. It's in the description box. Check out the October horoscopes for your zodiac sign. It's on the website. The link to that blog post is underneath as well. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good night.